Billy Beebe here with graduate year point guard Simon Blair as the Malone Pioneers, 2-2 to start the season. Simon, thank you for joining us here on the live stream.
Yep, no problem. My pleasure.
Let's begin with basketball talk. How do you feel the season has started? What have you liked from the team, and what are some things you want to see the team get better at?
Yeah, so obviously we started 0-2, had the first game won, and have faced adversity already in the first two games. Haven't quite clicked. We didn't quite click as quickly as we wanted to as far as chemistry goes, but we're getting there every day, and we're getting better every day. So, and then the last two wins are big wins to put us back at 500, and hopefully we can continue to build on that and get a winning streak going here.
I want to talk about your time at Mount Union, Simon. Let's go back. You arrived during COVID. Is it crazy with the basketball you have now and being at the university now, looking back on that COVID time?
Yeah, COVID was definitely a really weird year for everyone, and to adapt to the way that was difficult for a lot of people. I mean, we had no fans at the time, which was very, very odd. I had never played basketball with zero fans. And looking back on it now, it was a good learning point to be grateful for the things that we didn't have during COVID. But yeah, I would say it was a blessing in disguise just to keep me grateful for the things that I get to enjoy now when basketball is back to normal.
And when you arrived at Malone, some pretty successful teams when you began, not only in the regular season, but in the postseason. You really had to fight for minutes, not getting off the bench much. What were you taking away from older guys, successful teams, coaches, things like that?
Yeah, we were really good. Honestly, pretty much every year we've had a pretty good team, and the first couple of years I was behind a really good point guard, and I was learning a lot from him at the time, and just how to play the game, not necessarily just skill, but just the knowledge of the game as well was the biggest thing for me, and just understanding what type of shots we needed at certain points in the game, and just really becoming more knowledgeable in the game of basketball. And yeah, I learned a lot from obviously both coaches I've had, developed me into the player I am now. And yeah, it's been a great ride, and just learning to adapt to different roles every year. I mean, obviously, like you said, I started my first 2 years, I got about 10 minutes a game, and that was different for me. But I tried to come into practice every day and get better and do what I could to be the best in that role. And then, of course, I progressed in my roles consistently over the years. So.
Let's go to now, Simon. A little bit of roster turnover the past 2 years because of the coaching change. How has that affected you as a player? What have you tried to do to make sure things still go smoothly? I mean, you guys had to completely change the roster last year, and then once again this year added a lot of new faces.
Yeah, it can be difficult for sure to bring in completely new teams just because you don't have that same chemistry that you guys have been playing with for however many years. But yeah, we've had two good teams in the past few years, and guys that are willing to get in there and work and that love the game. And that's a great thing. And we're all working towards a common goal and looking to get better every day. And I honestly just, the guys we brought in, the team we had for such little time last year was amazing. And then this year as well, I love the guys this year. Teammates are great, and yeah, they all love the game, and it's really fun to be a part of.
What about your new coach, Simon? 2 years in with Coach Walrap here. From a player's perspective, what kind of coach is he?
Yeah, so he's a very, very smart coach. He knows the game of basketball very well, and you can tell that just by the way he talks. He's a very, very laid-back guy, and you can go to him about anything. He's a coach and he's a friend as well. Like, you can go talk to him, have a serious conversation, a fun conversation. Like, he's your coach, and then he's also a guy you can go to and talk to as well. So.
Now, he used to play. He played overseas and of course, here. Does he ever suit up and practice with you guys? Is he ever out on the court at all?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't practice with us. So he'll shoot around a little bit and stuff, and mess around and shoot some shots. But he never goes against us usually. No.
Yeah. And if we were trying to get to know the team a little bit better this year. What is the style of the team? What is the kind of personality of this team off the court?
We got some characters for sure. The team is very. There's a lot of interesting characters as far as like people coming from different parts of the country, different countries. We just have a lot of really good personalities, funny personalities that all come together. We'll crack jokes at each other. We'll just have a lot of fun. It's a really fun group, and a group that is able to have fun on and off of the court, and then lock in and be focused on the court too.
Who do you think is the funniest player on the team?
Oh gosh, that's tough. There's a lot of funny guys on our team. I don't know. That's tough. I'll give it to Trey.
Okay. Who's a player on Malone right now that you think will end up being a coach one day?
Yeah. It's a great question. I would say Trey as well, just because he's talked to me about that before. He said that he could see himself maybe later down the road. The one more, I could also see Ed Wright being a coach as well. He loves the game and he knows a lot about it as well. So yeah, those two probably.
More about Coach Walrap and yourself here, Simon. I talked to him preseason. He felt you would easily be the best point guard in the conference and probably the best point guard in the region. What kind of confidence does that give you knowing your coach feels that way about you?
Yeah, that's a great amount of confidence for sure. I mean, like last year, he had so much confidence in me, regardless if I had a rocky start to the year or if I had a rocky middle of the year. Like he never lost confidence in me, and it allowed me to build confidence in myself and play the way I knew I could. But yeah, to have that much confidence in a coach, it's amazing. Like regardless if you have a couple bad games, regardless if you have even a long stretch of bad games, to have someone that has the confidence in you to get it done is very, very helpful as a player.
For you, he's a new coach, not only on this team, but in this area and part of this conference over the past 2 years. Have you felt that need to be a leader now more than ever for this team, especially as you've become a senior and a fifth-year player?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, like just ever since I've been here, that's been a big point for me as a player, just become more of a vocal leader and be a leader. And me being a fifth year and being one of the only players that has been at Malone for 5 years, I know a lot about Malone and just the conference, and I need to be that guy that steps up and helps the freshmen, helps underclassmen, and helps even other people that haven't been here as long as I have to just help them with whatever they need off and on the court.
Year 5 for yourself, Simon. Were there goals you set before the season? Were there things you wanted to accomplish this year for yourself personally and for the team?
No, not specifically. I don't think. The tournament, the NCAA tournament is always a goal every year for me. Like, that's something where we've only been to it once my freshman year, and that's a big deal. And I think that we have the guys to do it. We have a lot of really skilled players this year. And I think we have the pieces where if we come together and are okay with all of our roles and just work together as a team, like we can reach that goal. But yeah, I would say the NCAA tournament is the biggest goal for me this year.
All right, Simon, before we let you go, let's get to know you a little bit off the basketball court. If somebody hadn't heard from you before, let's go to hometown, your high school, a little bit about family, and then what you're studying right now in school.
Yeah, so I come from a really small school named South Central in Greenwich, Ohio. It's about an hour and 15 west of Canton. Really small town. Grew up in a really small neighborhood out in the country. I grew up with a little brother, an older sister, and my mom and dad, obviously. So I got my undergrad in business administration and marketing, and now my grad school is data analytics, and I'm in my first year of that right now.
Love it. Love it. Simon, thank you for joining us so much. Good luck tonight. Good luck this season.
Yep.
And we appreciate you kind of letting the people know a little bit about the team and about yourself.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.